It's the Evan edition. The Evan edition. The Evan edition. The Evan edition. It's the Evan edition. The Evan edition. The Evan edition. The Evan edition. It's the Evan edition.
Welcome back to the Evan edition, where we talk movies, TV, comics, pop culture, and everything in between. I am your host, Evan Bernstein, and we have a great night planned for you guys. San Diego Comic-Con 2026 just wrapped, and we have a ridiculous amount to talk about. Marvel absolutely unloaded in Hall H. DC gave us new looks at Lanterns and Clayface. Resident Evil brought the horror, and we got some cool shows to talk about as well. And I have two awesome people here to break it all down with me. First, you guys already know him. He's one of my regular co-hosts and generally one of my favorite people to talk movies and TV with, because he always brings his own perspective and isn't afraid to disagree with me, which usually makes the conversation a hell of a lot more fun. Make sure you're checking out his reviews and everything he's doing on his channel, because it is absolutely fantastic. That's right. Zach Goldberg, brother, happy to have you back.
Happy Sunday, everybody. If you're watching this live, and if you're not, where are you? Watch us live. We're great. But yeah, I'm doing good. I'm excited. Comic-Con is here. It was like no excitement for it going in, and then now everyone's talking. Yeah. So I'm excited to get to it.
And I'm really excited to have our boy, Mr. Bludd, back. His wrestling podcast has really been taking off. His impressions somehow continue to get better and better. And as we learned the last time he was here, the man has some pretty darn good movie and TV takes. MJ, I'm so happy to have you back. Welcome to the show, my friend.
Hi, how are you? Thanks for having me back again. Now this is great. Yeah, our wrestling podcast, Snug Wrestling, we've been around for about 3.5 years now, but we've really been hitting our stride. We have a lot of attention from industry names like Chris Jericho, Lita, Omos. We've been reshared by Jonsson. We're followed by most of these people too, and we've interviewed like Ray Phoenix, half of not AEW, but half of AAA, a few AEW guys. It's been good, and I've been great. I'm a celebrity guest at a convention. Since we are in convention season, I'll be a celebrity guest at Conjutsu, a smaller convention in Virginia, this weekend, Saturday and Sunday in Fairfax, Virginia, at the George Mason Center at Jonsson University. If you want to come meet me, get an autograph, get some pictures and stuff, me and a bunch of other voice actors will be there doing panels. That'll be a lot of fun. Outside of being a professional voice actor, a wrestling podcaster, former wrestler, my heart and soul and one of my first loves has always been nerd culture, specifically comic books, specifically anime. And I feel like what a time to be a fan, especially with this past weekend's announcements. I feel like we are really spoiled, and I am ecstatic about what is to come, especially all that news that came out of San Diego Comic-Con. I'm fucking here for it.
I am too, and I'm so excited to get into all this stuff. And let's say hi to everyone in the chat. Luke, hello. Cece, what is good? I'm your boy too, don't forget. And she's saying, Mr. Bludd, back at it. Let's effing go. So I'm so excited. And tonight isn't about just covering every single thing that happened at Comic-Con. We're talking about the stuff that got us excited, the trailers, the announcements, the surprises we're going to probably talk about for the next few years. So we got a lot of get into, and somewhere in the middle of all that, we're going to put MJ through 5 brand new voice challenges again. So we got a lot to get into. Let's get into it. And our first thing is this. We're going to ease into Comic-Con with Resident Evil, because they got an early presentation and it looks awesome. Zach Cregger and Austin Abrams came to Hall H with another substantial look at this movie. And every time I see more, I get more excited. What I think Zach Cregger understands is that Resident Evil isn't just about Leon, Jill, or somebody walking around with a shotgun looking cool, which we all love. The terror comes from feeling completely overwhelmed by this world. So putting an ordinary person in Raccoon City who is absolutely not equipped for what's happening could actually bring us closer to the feeling of playing those games than simply recreating one of them beat for beat. And after Barbarian and Weapons, Cregger has earned enough trust from me that I'm willing to let him cook. MJ, I want to ask you, did you get a chance to look at the newest trailer coming out of Comic-Con or any of the content about the newest Resident Evil?
So unfortunately, and this is going to be probably where I fall a little flat here, even at the start of the show, I've never been a Resident Evil fan because I've never played any of the games. So fun fact about me, horror is my least favorite genre of anything. I was never really able to watch it as a kid. For those who don't know, I've had 2 open heart surgeries, and I have a plastic pulmonary valve. And my cardiologist many years ago recommended to my mother that because I get that spike from jump scares and things like that, that it's not exactly healthy. So I don't watch horror movies because it's just not good for my heart. That being said, I do love action thrillers. I do love mystery thrillers. Sometimes horror elements are great if it's not like the full-blown gore and the body mutilate, all that stuff.
Right. Like Sinners a little bit more.
Like Sinners, I enjoyed a lot. But I mean, like, I cannot watch Saw. I can't do stuff like Jeepers Creepers or like, you know, like I can handle Scream, because Scream to me is just a whodunit. It's Scooby-Doo rated R basically. But when you're talking about
I like
great,
that.
like, and I can do like, I can handle the gore and dismemberment. That stuff doesn't bother me. I enjoy that a lot. My wife thinks I'm sick for it. I can't do straight up real, like The Thing, like Alien, like jumping face huggers and sucking stuff down their throat, rip it.
2 of
like
my favorites.
That stuff where it's popping out, jumping, hyper realistic goof or freaking monsters that rip flesh off. Something in my chest just starts going and it's just too much, and it starts like, it doesn't make me panic, but it doesn't make me feel like I want to watch it. I can stomach it, I just can't physically handle a lot of it.
You're not enjoying it.
I'm not enjoying it because the entire time I'm just like, okay, that's okay. I'm kind of feeling like my heart rate's going up a little too much. You know, one of those things. Like as an adult, I could probably handle it if I did not have the heart condition to combat it with, you know.
Well, this is the best part about this stuff, is that not everything is for everyone. You know what I mean? And that's okay. That's totally okay. But for me, and I'm going to throw it to Zach, because I know this is a little bit more up his alley, especially coming off of Weapons, which me and Zach talked about a lot. Also, forgot to say in the intro, I just got a thing, like, you know, you get the memories on Facebook and stuff like that. Today is exactly a year me and Zach reviewed our first movie together, Fantastic Four: First Step. So I was like, wow, what an ironic thing to be covering Comic-Con to the day a year later. Zach, let me ask you, did you get a chance to, and thank you very much, MJ, for sharing that. That makes perfect sense. Probably should have asked you, done my research a little bit on my guest post
I still bit better. Completely still respect Resident Evil, though I can't watch it nor have I played to enjoy it. I 100% still am able to respect and understand the impact it had on the gaming community and pop culture at large.
Totally.
For instance, I hate One Piece. Completely respect everything it's done for Western culture, anime, along with Naruto, Dragon Ball Z, Sailor Moon. So even if I don't like something, I still have a respect as a nerdist myself to know, hey, that deserves and has earned its place, because without that, we don't get this, and this.
Yeah.
I love that mindset.
No, that's so well spoken. So well spoken for someone that's like, it's not for me. Probably the most elegant way to say something isn't for you, and I absolutely love it. Zach, did you get a chance to look at this trailer? If so, what do you think coming out of Comic-Con and what Zach Cregger and our boy Austin Abrams, who is just so unassumingly the next everyman, kind of like with Brian Tyree Henry. A white Brian Tyree Henry. Who would have thought? No, I was kidding. What did you think about the stuff coming out about Resident Evil from Comic-Con?
Yeah, I'm excited. Resident Evil 4 is one of my favorite games of all time. Zach Cregger has made two of my favorite movies in the past couple of years, in Barbarian and Weapons. And I like that he decided not to do the thing where he's just going to adapt one of the games. He's going to build a movie within the universe of it. So it's cool for us to follow like an original story, and we don't have to worry about the weight of comparing it and contrasting it to the game. We can just like, oh, this is happening while other stuff in the game is happening. So people can just sit there and enjoy it. As long as he catches the essence of what Resident Evil is, which I think he will, I'm down. And the way this new trailer played out, especially I saw it in the theaters, it was just intense. It was fun. It shows that like this guy here, Austin Abrams, is going to be able to carry a movie, because it seems like he's mainly the person we're going to be following throughout while he's facing all these zombies, infected people. And I'm excited to see, even though it's not a part of the main story of Resident Evil, because I think this is set between Resident Evil 1 and 2, but the year is moved up to modern time. I'm excited to see how he incorporates elements from those games into the story. So we're like, oh, yay. Like, because people already are pointing out like things like the typewriter and this and that from the game that's showing within this trailer. So I'm excited to see where he goes with it. I'm hoping this is not like a story that he wanted to do and they're slapping Resident Evil on it. Is a Resident Evil story he wanted to do, and the trailer is just showing us a little bit, and it's going to go crazy when we actually get to see the movie.
That's a good point. And, you know, Cregger keeps using this idea of honoring the games rather than simply recreating one particular plot. And honestly, I think that's smarter than confusing fidelity and photocopying. Does a great Resident Evil adaptation actually need to recreate one particular game, or does it need to recreate the feeling we had playing the game? And I feel like these moments, this is actually kind of small, but he's like looking for tape, or he's looking for, okay, I'll get the gun off the wall. There's all these little moments that feel like you are that first person player trying to survive some random house you stumble upon, trying to get supplies. And so I really think he's doing his due diligence of like, what does it feel like to play this game? And can I make this movie feel like they are just one of the people in Raccoon City trying to survive just in the world of this game? And honestly, I think that might be the best approach, especially compared to the previous Resident Evil films that just got like crazier and crazier and crazier, so much so that it didn't feel like Resident Evil anymore. So I feel like he's trying to just bring it back to what did the game really feel like. And I think that is a smart approach. So will it pan out? Only time will tell. But let us know, guys. Do you think that Resident Evil is honoring the feeling of the game, or do you think, no, it needs to be exactly the story of Resident Evil 2, or else it's not a real adaptation? Drop a comment below and let us know your guys' thoughts. All right, guys. With that down, we are on to the next thing. And the next thing is a little studio called Marvel Studios. And we got to get into it because Kevin Feige came back to Hall H, put his information on the table, and said Marvel has a lot to say. And we got a lot to get into. And I really wanted to start with this because this is honestly one of my favorite surprises. And we got to get to the good stuff right away. Like, this is our show. Why wait? So one of the biggest surprises came when Feige brought out Ryan Coogler, and Coogler brought out Letitia Wright and Winston Duke, two of the GOATs of the franchise that is Black Panther. And then they finally answered a question we've all been talking about on this show and around the world for a while. What does the future of Black Panther actually look like? And out walks our boy, That's right. I don't have the picture loaded. It went away for some reason. But it is David Jonsson and Coogler confirm that T'Challa and Nakia's son grows up, comes of age, and becomes the new Black Panther. And he talked a lot about David came on stage, and I'm going to find this picture right now. David came on stage and he really expressed what an honor it is. And it's so iconic because just 10 years ago, we had our boy Chadwick on stage announcing Black Panther is coming in 2018. So it's very interesting that we get this 10-year gap and these iconic moments of reintroducing the world to the new T'Challa. This might honestly be my favorite announcement out of Comic-Con. David Jonsson as the next Black Panther is inspired casting. I was so excited about this that last night I actually put on The Long Walk again. And for my wife's first time, I was like, you got to see him in this. This is the new, I'm like, think T'Challa when you're watching this. And then immediately I put on Black Panther afterward. And watching those performances back to back again only made me more convinced. Anyone stepping into the space Chadwick Boseman left behind has an unbelievable uphill battle. But Jonsson has some of the same qualities that made Chadwick so magnetic to me. There's an accessibility and vulnerability to him, but underneath it, there's this quiet strength. He can feel deeply human and mighty at the same time, a king to all of us. And when I originally saw The Long Walk in theaters, I literally turned to my friend and said, this guy should be the next Black Panther. So yes, I'm taking my victory lap on this one. I was going to ask Zach, but MJ didn't really get to express his feelings on Resident Evil. So, Mr. Bludd, let's start with you. What did you think about learning where we are going in the announced Black Panther 3 with our boy David?
It's crazy. I have a very deep adoration and a love for Chadwick Boseman. Even got a memorial piece for him in Polynesian symbols, Yibambe, and then it's his mask in Polynesian symbols and mixed into my Tomoko.
That's
and
awesome.
When he died, I remember when I saw that he died, I cried when I got the news because he's an actor's actor, but he's also genuinely probably one of the few decent, genuine human beings that lived in Hollywood that, you know, like in his final months, he had donated like $4 million to cancer research and COVID research for equipment for children's hospitals. Like, you're talking about a guy who genuinely was sick and the whole internet tore him apart, called him Crack Panther, treated him horribly. And this guy stays quiet, lets them talk, and still does goodwill towards his fellow man and goes peacefully surrounded. Like, that's a man if I've ever seen one. That's a king if I've ever seen one.
That's two.
Yeah. But like a lot of people, it was never going to be an easy thing to follow. We saw how the internet reacted to Shuri, Letitia Wright playing Shuri. And you know how the internet is, they mix their personal feelings with the actor versus the art. They can't separate the art from the artist. She had
in the circumstances, right?
Yeah, and she had some political beef back then or whatever, and people tore a new one. And so they tried to boycott the film. It was a whole thing. But Wakanda Forever was a love letter to Chadwick. It's what it was. That's why you can watch that movie and it feels so separate from the MCU while it takes place in the MCU, because it wasn't about any overarching story or building towards anything else except for maybe Ironheart. But Shuri in that movie, she goes on quite a journey, and we end up where we have T'Challa II, also known as Toussaint in the MCU. And that's who David Jonsson is playing, T'Challa II, but he's going to be aged up. Now, like a lot of people, I was really hoping for Damson Idris from Snowfall to become the next, because I'm on my first watch through of Snowfall right now, season 5. I thought he was perfect when I looked at him, but I know how much people love David from Alien Romulus, and I know that he had quite a lot of fanfare coming out of The Long Walk. For me, I don't hate this. You're talking about a guy who clearly gives very great, very ingrained, very emotional, very nuanced performances here. So if anybody's going to step into the role in the title character of Black Panther, I want it to be someone who I can look at and go, no, he's going to care. And that, because that's what I want. I want people making these movies and being these characters that care. And no one cared more than Chadwick and Ryan Coogler and Letitia Wright. And now we can add David Jonsson to the list because he's joining an echelon of people who gave their heart to 2 films already and a character that's beloved by millions. The interesting part about this casting is I made a video on this where I was talking about the implications of this casting. You see, David Johnson's 32 years old. Now, Damson Idris, he's 34. But T'Challa, the last time we saw him, T'Challa the second, Toussaint, he was 6 or 7 at the end of Wakanda Forever, which takes place in 2026. You're talking about 2 years later in the MCU, Brand New Day takes place in 2028. So what's happening at the end of Secret Wars and or being set up by Doomsday to where when all is said and done and this new mainline continuity Kevin Feige has talked about, it's not a reboot, it's just a new restructuring the continuity. What timeline and how far into the future of a time skip are we getting to where a 32-year-old man is going to be playing T'Challa's son grown up? How young is he playing? I can't imagine he's playing T'Challa at 32. He's got to be playing him in his 20s. So I think this is going to be, this to me has me so excited because I'm also thinking, well, we have Ryan Gosling as Ghost Rider. So it's like
we're gonna get to that. Yeah.
But when I look at the ages of these actors, it makes me start pointing out clues as to how far this time skip is going. What is happening in Secret Wars that a 32-year-old man is playing a character that we last saw at 7 years old? That's what's got me excited because that also leaves implications that, you know, we could get Miles Morales out of this time skip because he comes out of Secret Wars in the comics too. So
yeah,
I'm extremely ecstatic about this. I think if you're going to cast anybody, I'm fine with Damson and I'm totally fine with David. And I think either one of them, but especially David right now, that dude's going to knock this out of the park. And I couldn't be happier for him to have gotten this role.
Totally. Yeah, Zach, let me ask you, MJ brings up a good point. He is a little bit older than what we were anticipating, especially if the rumors were true that the X-Men are going to be younger. And, we were hoping there was going to be a Storm connection in Black Panther 3 that would hopefully tie into X-Men and tie it all together in a nice bow. But when you cast someone that is 32, older in this world right now, it can complicate that. One, how do you feel about David Jonsson? And two, do you think that the age will be an issue, or do you think that they have a way that they're going to explain it that will hopefully make sense?
I think as long as David Jonsson takes care of himself, it should be fine, because even though he's 32, he looks like he's in his 20s. He looks like a very young man. And a lot of times in MCU, people are playing younger than they actually are. Like Tom Holland is 30. He's playing a college graduate, which means he's like 23, 24. And he can do it because he has a baby face. So I don't think it's an issue, his age, unless he doesn't take care of himself. Because this movie is not going to be start filming right now. So he's going to be older when the movie starts filming. So it's a possibility that he starts looking like a grown man, But I don't think that's going to be an issue. There's a lot of people. Haley Steinfeld is 28. She's playing a 22-year-old. Black don't crack. That's also a great thing, It
is. I don't know what it's like, but I hear it's a great thing. Yes.
Hey, man. I wish I could give it to you through osmosis. It's just not a thing that happens, unfortunately. But I think that it should be definitely fine with him playing the character. Even if they play the character at 30, I'm fine with him not pairing up with Storm. That storyline in the comics is romanticized more than in the actual, like, how great it was, especially the way it ended. So I'm fine if they don't go that route. I'm okay with him marrying someone that's already in Wakanda, and not marrying somebody that's outside, has outside obligations, and doing all that kind of storyline. So I'm okay with if there's a young Storm and she's dealing with her own stuff, and T'Challa's older, because T'Challa's always been like an older character than like the X-Men characters, or even like he's more like a Reed Richards and Doom character age wise. He's always been a little bit more mature, so I'm fine with this casting.
Yeah. No, I get that. I just think it's an opportunity, like the first T'Challa Senior, is with Nakia, and that's totally fine. But now you have a younger T'Challa, and you have the X-Men coming. You own the X-Men. You have big plans for the X-Men, and arguably one of people's favorite characters is Storm. And so it's like you would think, put two and two together. You have, and then also have Ryan Coogler as part of that casting, who, as we can see, he is fantastic when it comes to his casting. I think Michael B was an inspired choice to be Killmonger that no one saw coming at the time. We forget that now. So I just think, man, what a great opportunity to have a younger T'Challa, to have that X-Men connection. But who's to say they can't do it? And that, she was always a little bit older than Scott and Jean and those people, and she, became headmaster of the school. So I think
Magneto flirted with her a lot, so
well, he's a little slut, but yeah, so there's an opportunity. You saw with Rogue. There's an opportunity there, though. I do think it's possible. So I think you're right. I don't think it hurts that possibility. But yeah, it did end badly in the comics, but it was still a very historic thing for two Black people to get married in a comic. And so to honor that on film, I think it would be a very beautiful thing. So that's just my hope, but we'll see. But the point is, we have our T'Challa Jr. We have an amazing actor in David Jonsson. If you guys have not seen Alien Romulus, go out and see it. He's going to be playing Miles Davis in a Coleman Domingo directed film. This guy is on his way. What better way to lead Black Panther for the next generation to really ascend him to stardom? And he seems like he has that Chadwick-esque quality where not just a great actor, but a good person. So that's the hope. Let us know what you guys think. Are you excited about David Jonsson being T'Challa Jr., T'Challa the second, if you will? And are you surprised about anything else that they said with Black Panther? I'm surprised. I heard Denzel was in the house, but they didn't bring him out. So did you guys hear about that at all? About Denzel being seen?
I did, and it kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
I did. It kind of makes sense because when you think about it, Denzel Washington was extremely instrumental in the beginning of Chadwick's early career. Even paid for his education. Yeah, he paid for his education. Hell, yeah. I mean, Chadwick thanked him on stage. So beautiful. I think it's very sweet that Denzel would be involved. If anything, I would hope Denzel would be a producer on this film of some kind, because I would love to see that love translated through being a part of this project, that no matter how far this franchise goes, there will always be, and I mean this in a positive way, that spirit of Chadwick looming with the cast, looming with the film franchise because of what he brought to the role and what he meant. I mean, in the span of what will be 12 years when that film comes out in December of 2028, but at current junction, a decade, we have had 3 canon MCU Black Panthers now. So I think what's incredible is that a franchise can go on even if you lose its star player. But I love that the way that they handled this, even back with Wakanda Forever, that they're handling it with grace, where we're not just moving on. We're not just recasting Chadwick. No. We're honoring Chadwick and making this about legacy, about the mantle and what you leave behind, and then what you've left behind, how that thing or that person now moves forward. And I think that's a beautiful thing, because Black Panther, at the end of the day, in his comic run, he was always about lineage. And I think this is a beautiful way of doing this, because it feels so much in that vein of lineage.
Totally. No, I completely agree. And, it's a choice, right? Because they could have easily oh, multiverse. It's the T'Challa from a different universe, and let's move on. The worlds combined. Now this is our T'Challa. But the grace that they've really handled this terrible situation with, man, I mean, every time I see a movie now, I'm like, he would have been great. Like so many interactions with Chadwick and a black Captain America. There's so many conversations that could have been on screen. Like there's so many moments. So I love that they're really honoring Chadwick's legacy and how he is very famous for this role and really made it what it's been known today. So I'm very happy to see that. I think David Jonsson is going to do a fantastic job. But the question is, what do you guys think? Do you think that David Jonsson is the best person? Did you want some Damson in your life? And is it true? Black don't crack. He going to be 32 for the next 30 years and we're good. Drop a comment below and let us know your guys' thoughts.
I'm half black and I'm still doing pretty good. So
yes, you are, my friend. Yes, you are. And that brings us to our next topic because Marvel dropped another bomb on us. That's right. Kevin Feige announces they're officially developing Ghost Rider and then brings out Ryan Gosling and Sean Levy together to reveal that Gosling is our Ghost Rider and Levy is directing with Jonathan Tropper as the writer. Gosling told the crowd this is a character he's wanted to play for a long time. As we know, he's been lobbying pretty heavily for quite a while. Did he know something we didn't? Probably. Ryan Gosling as Ghost Rider, I'm completely sold. My brain immediately goes to The Place Beyond the Pines, Gosling on that motorcycle with that brooding, dangerous energy. Give me that guy with a flaming skull, and I think there's something really special there. It's Sean Levy that surprises me. I like Sean Levy. Deadpool and Wolverine worked for me. I know it didn't for some people. He's obviously working with Gosling on Star Wars Starfighter, but his movies generally have a lighter, poppier energy that almost the opposite of where my brain goes when I think of Ghost Rider. I would have expected Marvel to hand this to somebody with a real horror sensibility and let them get weird with it. Obsession director, that would be kind of epic. And after Blade, I'm also not celebrating until those cameras are actually rolling. Fool me once, Marvel. Shame on you. Fool me twice. Shame on me. Marvel has taught me many lessons. Best of all, don't expect a movie is going to happen until it's being shot. Zach, I want to ask you, Gosling, I'm sold on. Levy, I'm questioning a little bit. Where are you at with this pretty shocking Ghost Rider announcement?
So many thoughts. I'm trying to see how I can streamline it. I have a lot of mixed feelings about everything that happened at Comic-Con because of a lot of stuff that's come before, including Blade, including the DC boycott because they're not having any black characters, having any mainline comics for a long time. The treatment of the black characters in the MCU, how I felt like they fumbled with Sam, gave Riri no buzz. And while I love David Jonsson, I do think it's weird. Wonder Man. Well, luckily Wonder Man was a streaming hit. It was one of the few,
but they didn't promote.
They didn't promote it.
Yeah.
So that was pure word of mouth and sheer will of the show being fantastic. So like the treatment of the black War Machine's movie kind of just being in limbo and might be canceled. It just seems like they're just
interesting.
Fumbling the black characters. If Black Panther was Superman, and if God forbid David Jonsson, not David Jonsson. What's his name? Who plays Superman right now?
David Cornsweet.
David Cornsweet was to pass away, and they decided to make John the new Superman. I think people would be upset. So I think having T'Challa just be John, his son, John Kent. His son in the comics who becomes Superman.
Oh, his son. Okay, I'm like, is there an actor named John?
No. I'm talking about John Kent, his son, in the comics. Like, if they were just to pivot with that, I think people would be like, no, we want Clark Kent. And I think not having T'Challa is weird because you wouldn't do that to Batman, you wouldn't do it to Spider-Man, you wouldn't do it to Superman. And I feel like T'Challa should have been on that level. But I love David Jonsson, so I have mixed feeling on this. Why I say all that is that it pains me that all of these things with the black characters were fumbled a bit, and then Blade it was so hard to make Blade. We couldn't figure it out. I'm a loser. But you can do Ghost Rider, which essentially to me is a harder character because it deals with demons. There's a lot of CGI. It has to be R-rated.
It's way harder.
It's way harder to make. I think it's easier because they got Ryan Gosling, who's one of the biggest stars in the world. And I love Mahershala Ali, but he's not on the same level popularity-wise. I'm not going to say talent-wise, popularity-wise. And then they got a director for hire in Sean Levy. I am scared about Sean Levy directing this film.
Thank you.
He has bland sensibilities. Deadpool and Wolverine was fun, but it's bland. It looks bland.
Yeah.
The action is outside of the opening bye fight. The action is bland. He does not.
The Deadpool Wolverine van fight.
Okay, yeah. That was really, really fun as well.
Pretty iconic. I like that one.
It's pretty. I actually really love that scene.
The ending against all the Deadpools. Too much. Yeah. Okay. I see.
Too much CGI, but
it is the weak point of the announcement, right?
It's the weak point of the announcement. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe it's a thing of where he has been a director for hire and he has to do things that the directors have want. Because didn't he also do Free Guy? Because Free Guy was fun. Free Guy was a little inventive. It was really cool. That wasn't adapting something, and that was him directing. So I'm hoping that he gets an opportunity to really show his chops here and surprise everyone. If they would have got Guillermo del Toro, I would have been through the goddamn moon right now.
Oh my God, I'd be crying. I would be absolutely crying if that had happened.
But
who was I telling that to? I think I was telling that to Insatiable Blonde about Guillermo doing a Midnight Suns movie. I said the same thing about that. I think that would have been fantastic. But I think you're right. MJ, what do you think about the announcement of Ghost Rider and our boy Ryan Gosling taking on the mantle?
I'm totally fine with it. I actually posted a video not too long ago, today, maybe 3 hours ago, on this topic. I thought Ryan Gosling was perfect. And in fact, I even said it in the video before you even said it, that a lot of people were looking toward his role in Drive as to why he should get this. And I said it was Place Beyond the Pines that got me thinking he was perfect for this. But I don't think I don't think it's Johnny Blaze he's playing. I think it's Danny Ketch, the Ghost Rider from the 90s. Because one, Gosling fits that more, but two, we've already had a Johnny Blaze on screen, and we've already had a Robbie Reyes, and we've already had the Carter Slade from in the same movie as Ghost Rider of Nick Cage, the first one, the older Ghost Rider on the horse. There is a female Ghost Rider as well named Alejandra Jones, but we haven't seen her yet. But technically, we've had 3 Ghost Riders in the MCU. Because as far as people want to say about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., it was originally canon, then they decanonized it, and then Kevin Feige said it was canon a few years back. So that Robbie Reyes
back. I wish they brought him back. I really like Robbie Reyes in that actor.
I really liked him a lot too. And I thought he did a great job, and the visuals on him were fantastic.
Yeah.
For me, when it comes down to it, Ryan Gosling is perfect. I think they got him because not only can he play serious, but he can also play lighthearted and charming.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what the MCU energy has always been about. Serious for the serious moments, but you can be charming. And Gosling is, if nothing, a charmer. But also Gosling, in my opinion, is one of the most underrated actors of his entire generation. The fact that this man has been nominated for a Golden Globe or an Oscar yet has befuddled my mind for many years. I thought he should have gotten at least nominated for an Oscar for La La Land. I thought he should have been nominated for an Oscar for The Place Beyond the Pines.
Did he win for La La Land?
No, I mean, and it's crazy because he should.
Golden Globe, maybe.
Yeah, like he deserves it. I think he's a phenomenal performer.
Even as Ken and Barbie.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people complaining that, oh, why can't we just get newer actors? Why do we have to keep getting these older actors? Well, first off, like, understand how a business runs. Marketable. Ryan Gosling is marketable. Not only is it going to get your mom out to see him, your girlfriend and her girlfriend out to see him, it's also going to be like it's like he's got the handsome factor, but he's also got the charming factor, but he can also act his ass off. And I fully believe that with the right direction, Ryan can do this. When it comes to Sean Levy, I mean, we're talking about a guy who's done mostly comedies or action comedies his entire career. Deadpool and Wolverine, special place in my heart right there. Deluxe Wolverine Hot Toys from that movie. Wolverine's my favorite comic character of all time, next to X-23, who he also brought into this movie. And I love that. But when it comes down to it, he's also done like Real Steel. He's done The Atom Project. He's done like a lot of comedy stuff and a lot of stuff. And let's be honest, I like Sean Levy, a lot of stuff that has kind of flopped or been middling at the box office. He has, like, I would say Deadpool and Wolverine is his biggest success. It made over $1 billion.
100%.
Sure.
The night of the museum ones, kids, love that. But
at the end of the day,
the weaker link of the announcement, right?
And that is true. And I agree. As much as I appreciate him, he is a weaker link of the announcement. Look, I will say this: he does have a penchant, and there must be trust here because look at most of his filmography. He's working with some pretty big name actors most of the time. Hugh Jackman, Ben Stiller, Ryan Reynolds, and he seems to have a lane that he's comfortable in, people he likes to work with. If the writing is done well, I don't think I have a problem. He's shown us that he can do good action with Real Steel. He showed us that he can do action with Deadpool and Wolverine, although some people will say that some of that action was a little bit too choppy, a little too cutty.
Who would say that, Zach?
but one thing I can say about Deadpool and Wolverine that gives me hopes for this, the man's got style. And at the end of you talk about the end of Deadpool Wolverine to the Call My Name or Like a Prayer, like the style and how he shot it, the oneer going across with the bus and all the other Deadpools, like the man does have a visual style that I do appreciate. And he has.
Is it Ghost Riders? Is it what Ghost Rider needs?
I think if you're handling Wolverine, it's not much of a stretch to Ghost Rider after that, because in a lot of realms, Wolverine is very horror himself, depending on his runs. I got Wolverine a bunch
in a Deadpool movie. You know what I mean?
True. The thing is, I've never seen him handle a character that's probably going to be as dark, I guess, as Ghost Rider. I mean, Wolverine's probably the darkest character he's ever handled, if we're really talking about darkest. But even MCU and Fox universe, Wolverine is nowhere near as dark as his comic counterpart. So it's gonna it's a remain to be seen thing. I want to have confidence in Sean because, again, he's coming out of the gate of $1 billion banger, but also it's not his first superhero film. So it's not like we're just throwing it out there and throwing him in the deep end and seeing if he swims. The guy's already proved he can swim 2 years ago. So I'm excited about this, but there is a slight apprehension on how he's going to handle the horror elements or how much Marvel Studios or Disney is going to get in the way of production and go, hey, it's too dark, lighten it up. And then we're going to get a Ghost Rider that might be too jokey. And that's not what I want.
I think the main thing here is that this is a true test when Starfighter comes up. I think Deadpool Wolverine is not a true test for him because it's Deadpool's third movie. It's Wolverine's 17th. everyone was excited to see them finally come together. You have cameos from other characters. There's a lot working for him there that he doesn't have to. You don't have to be super creative. It's money, right?
Yeah.
Starfighter is an original Star Wars movie in a dying universe. If he is able to make a great movie from scratch, where there's no adaptation, there's no characters that we know of coming from other places, and it's great and it does well, then I'll have more confidence in him doing Ghost Rider, because then him and Ryan Gosling has a little bit of juice together. Because Ryan Gosling, I love him, but he's not a box office draw. His movies do bad for the most part when he's not a part like a Barbie, right? Like Free Guy did not do well. And some of the other bigger movies he's been a part of haven't done well. So it's two guys that have shaky reputations at the box office when they're not doing certain things coming together to do two Disney movies. So I really want to see how they pull the best out of each other, how Ryan Gosling makes Sean Levy look great with his acting and how Sean Levy makes Ryan Gosling look like a movie star that he deserves to be.
I would argue that I have a sneaking suspicion the reason that they were willing to greenlight Gosling for this, because we know that he'd been lobbying for it, is because he probably signed a multi-picture deal for the Star Wars thing, and he said, "Well, I'll do Star Wars, and if one of the films if I can do Ghost Rider." I have a feeling that they gave him Ghost Rider because he's already working with them in Star Wars. If you've noticed, Disney likes to do that. They like to pass actors around. Yeah. They love passing their actors around. Because at this point, how many Marvel stars have now appeared in Star Wars, or vice versa, crossed over? Like a lot of they like to recycle their actors, especially when they're big name actors. I've got no problem with it. It's just a matter of sometimes just because you can doesn't mean you should. But again, it is Gosling, and Zach, you're right. He has no proven real track record of a critically acclaimed box office explosive movie. Well, although he does have movies that are extremely successful. You what?
I said this one that we're seeing right here that just came out this year did pretty good, and he's probably going to get nominated for another Oscar for that performance. So
I'm trying to remember the name of that movie.
Project Hail Mary.
Okay, Project Hail Mary. I have heard fantastic things about that.
Oh, you got it.
I think it's on.
I think it's on Amazon now. But we're gonna wrap this up because we got to get into Doomsday. But I love what you said, MJ, about the writer, because Jonathan Tropper, I really like his stuff. I mean, I'm watching Your Friends and Neighbors season 2. I'm like, dang, this is great writing. Watching Lucky with Anya Taylor-Joy on Apple, another Apple project. They like to hire their own. It's pretty good. The Wrecking Crew on Amazon, pretty good popcorn movie.
That was fun. I like that movie.
Warrior, yeah, that was fun. It was fun. Warrior on what was it, Cinemax, and then it became HBO Max series, but Warrior was absolutely fantastic. He created that series. See, a lot of people love Adam Project. I really enjoyed, another Sean Levy, and he's writing Starfighter. So I've seen this thing where it's actually better when they've worked together more, because now you know each other's quirks and you know each other's, you can bob when they weave, you know how to work with the writer, with the star. We just did it on Starfighter. We enjoyed being around each other. So that lends well to working on another project, and that's totally fine. But let me ask you guys this. Can they pull it off? That is the question, because Sean Levy, I think he still has a lot to prove, especially when you're starting a new franchise like Ghost Rider. So we're going to move on. Drop a comment below, guys. Let us know your thoughts. Can Sean Levy pull this off? We know Ryan Gosling can. We know he was born for it after The Place Beyond the Pines. But is Sean the one to bring this bad boy home? And are we going to believe it until it's starting shooting? Or they're going to pull another blade? So drop a comment below and let us know your guys' thoughts, because we got the big one to get into. Those were big announcements, right? Those were big announcements. Black Panther, fantastic. We knew the third one was coming. We were hoping Denzel was going to be on stage. That's okay. He'll come soon. But we got our Black Panther T'Challa. Finally, we're back. Then we got Ghost Rider. What the heck? Crazy. But when it comes down to it, we got Doomsday in 4 months, and we need something, right? Because basically Marvel said, okay, enough playing around, and Kevin Feige brought out the Russo brothers for a massive Avengers Doomsday presentation, along with a ridiculous collection of casts, including Chris Evans, Downey, Pedro Pascal, Paul Rudd, Anthony Mackie, and actors representing multiple generations of Marvel. And then they showed the footage. We're talking Avengers, the new Avengers, Avengers with a Z, Thunderbolts, the Fantastic Four, the X-Men we grew up with in the early 2000s, our boy Patrick Stewart, Ian McKellen with the long white hair, James Marsden with the suit finally, Rebecca Romaine and Kelsey Grammer, Thor taking on Doom, Doom catching Mjolnir with 2 fingers and saying, not today. Sentinels, a destroyed New York, Doctor Doom sitting right in the middle of it all. It's a lot. It's a lot to take in. They're throwing everything at us because they need this pasta to stick on the wall and show us that they're cooking. And honestly, this is exactly the kind of scale that we want from an Avengers movie. You're bringing together characters over decades that we fell in love with, and that's awesome. My only hope is that underneath it all the spectacle, that there's still Doctor Doom's story. Infinity War had an enormous cast too, but at its core, that was Thanos' movie. We understand him. We followed him. The entire story revolved around what he believed and why he believed it. So much so, people after were coming out saying Thanos was right. It was weird. Doom needs the same treatment here, especially because Marvel doesn't have years of build-up, which Feige commented on, and he's wrong. No, I'm just kidding. And that's why I'm really encouraged that they're emphasizing Reed Richards and Victor's history. Pedro already said how complicated that relationship is. Give me more of that. Give me 2 brilliant men who have history together, who understand each other better than almost anybody, and who fundamentally believe the other man is wrong. I just don't want this to become the Russo brothers getting access to Marvel's biggest toy box they've ever made, smashing action figures together for 3 hours. The spectacle is already there. But what will make this is Doom's emotional moments and make those special. So MJ, after everything they showed, are you feeling like Marvel actually has something special here?
I've been a firm believer that Doomsday is going to be insanely good from the start. I know a lot of people have been hating on it. Oh, they're going to mess it up. Oh, it's going to bomb. Who cares? Oh, the MCU's dead, yada, yada. Cash grab this, like all that stuff. I, from day one, have been like, let them cook. We don't have a single bad Avengers movie. Okay. So, and even Age of Ultron, the black sheep of the Avengers movies, is extremely underrated, and it's very good. And if that's the worst an Avengers movie can be, okay, still made $2 billion. It was a commercial financial success, and it was still loved by many, and now it's even more respected now. So to me, when I look at Doomsday, I go, man, we're spoiled. Okay. Like
100%.
the thing that sticks out for me from all of the Kevin Feige, the panel, this, and then the leak of the new trailer, that because I saw so many leaks of this trailer because people were filming in there.
Yeah.
Is the relationship of Pedro and Doom. Okay. Because literally in the trailer of the leak, we see Pedro going, Victor, did you do this? And then more horrible stuff happens in the trailer. And then you see him screaming at Victor, holding on to his coat, looking in his face like a brother looking into his face. He's like, Victor, did you do this? And it's just like, ooh. Oh my God, the emotion from Pedro, which tells me this Victor is from Fantastic Four First Steps universe. This isn't another multiverse. This is their Doom because he knows him personally. But also, to answer that comment that I saw, I don't know. I don't think RDJ is a cash grab because they literally stated a cash grab is, oh, let's just bring him back. Like, you know what a cash grab is? A cash grab is bringing RDJ into Homecoming for 9 minutes of screen time and paying him $20 million. That's a cash grab. 2.5 hour movie.
Which I enjoyed in it. I enjoyed his part.
I enjoyed it, but most of the marketing centered around him being in the movie. Like and they had scenes that appear in the trailer.
He dropped one of the coldest lines in the movie.
Yeah,
you're nothing without the suit,
then you shouldn't
have it.
Yeah,
but that is worth $15 million. No,
but they filmed pieces of that movie that are in the trailer that are not even in the movie. So all that marketing was centered around. Exactly, which they do a lot, but in this case, that's what I call a cash grab. No, Feige literally said this film, like Endgame, like Tony's death is extremely important to the overall plot of this film. Earth 616's Tony's death, the snap, directly impacts whatever's going on with this version of Doom. On top of that, it's also the fact there is heavy rumor and innuendo that Cap staying back in time might have created an incursion that killed Doom's family. So when it comes down to it, bringing back Tony, bringing back Steve, it's not a cash grab if it fully fits the narrative and the overall real motivation behind your main villain. Just like they did with Thanos, I'm hoping that this movie is about Doom. Like, he is the main character.
Yeah.
And so we can really focus on that, because there are versions in the comics where, like, Reed Richards went crazy and he turned himself into Doctor Doom. It is not unheard of for Marvel to just take a character and switch it with someone else, like how Ant-Man created Ultron in the comics, but in the MCU it was Tony. So how come maybe what if this was an actual real Tony variant who went crazy, his family died, and he turned himself into Victor Von Doom? So, like, it's very, like, we don't know, but I'm hyped for this. That voice, the presentation, look at this image, look at this suit. Rest in peace to Julian McMahon a year later. Rest in peace. We miss you. You're a great Doom.
Gave this out at Comic-Con. Zach, let me ask you, Downey said something I really liked when comparing Doom to Tony Stark. His basic point was that Tony's trauma ultimately pushed him toward becoming a hero, while Doom's trauma pushes him in the opposite direction. And that is fascinating to me. Don't give me an evil Tony Stark. Give me two brilliant men shaped by pain who reach completely different conclusions about what the world needs. Does hearing Downey talk about Doom that way make you more confident about this casting?
I think the combination of his comments, the presentation, the trailer, and everything that we're hearing about the movie makes me more confident in it. It feels like they're not leaning on the fact that this is Robert Downey Jr. under the mask. It's just part of it. Because if they were leaning in onto it, his mask would be off all the time. We would have had a poster with it off. We would have a scene in a trailer where he revealed it. Hey guys, look. But they haven't done that. The general audience does not know that RDJ is in this movie. I think that's the main thing. Like, we all know because we're, on the internet way too much. But the general audience, my mom does not know that Doom is RDJ. She just know she's heard of Dr. Doom before because she has a nerdy son, and she's like, "Oh, okay, this is the guy my son says is a bad man, and he just blocked Thor's hammer with his 2 fingers. He looks like a bad man." And so now when she goes watch the movie and whatever reveal happens, she's like, "What's happening?" And I think a lot of normal people are going to go into it very surprised, as long as they don't spoil it in another trailer, which I think is probably going to happen. Very surprised and very excited. I think that this is a course correction that they had to make because of the Jonathan Major situation, and it is a cash grab in how they just announced it, because they didn't have a script for this when they announced RDJ as Doom.
Yeah.
But I think the way it's being written and the way it's being presented, they have found a way to make it be meaningful. and I'm excited for that because, like you said, if this was just Iron Man coming back, that's a cash grab. But if it's just Robert Downey Jr. playing a different character and it tying into everything else, and he's playing Doom, and they give it some meaning, that's a completely different thing that I'm so down for.
And if I might add really quick, people sit here and call this a cash grab. They forget what saga we're in. This is the multiverse saga. Did you think there was only one Tony? So, like, did you think there was only one guy that looked like Tony Stark? No. It's an infinite amount of realities. There's a fun fan theory I saw that said, remember in Multiverse of Madness, when Doctor Strange says, hey, remember, dreams are portals into the realities of your other selves. And someone pointed out Tony's vision/dream in the beginning of Age of Ultron when he saw all of the Avengers dead while looking out into space. How do we know that wasn't, how do we know they're not trying to tie that in? We know that Doom was never originally the plan. It was Kang the Conqueror. But they have clearly laid enough eggs all over the MCU to where they were able to piece it together to where they were like, we can make Doom make sense. We have all these other hints to him. Plus, we have the multiverse. The Fantastic Four, even before their movie, they were canon because of John Krasinski popping up in Multiverse of Madness. And before that, when they originally mentioned the multiverse, and then they tied in everything with Deadpool and Wolverine, the Fox universe right there. That was the Fantastic Four with Julian McMahon. So it's not like they didn't already exist. I mean,
didn't they chart in the 60s?
For Christ's sakes.
I said, didn't they chart in the 60s? No,
and I think the fact that we have a lady Loki, it's literally Loki, but as a woman, shows that like we can have Doom that looks like RDJ. We have 3 different Spider-Mans that look nothing alike. Peter 1, 2, and 3 don't look anything alike, but they're all Spider-Man. They all look like a Peter Parker version from the comics. So the way the multiverse works, anything is possible. There's someone that looks like Tony Stark, but his name is Victor Von Doom. It's easy. It's not hard. No over explanation. But when you drop back within a universe that has someone that looked like that was such a hero and make that person a villain, it creates a very, very fun dynamic that I'm excited for.
If this 100%. Wasn't the multiversal saga, if this had not been named the multiverse saga, if none of the movies this entire last 6 years had been built around multiverse at all, and they were just like, oh, hey, this next Avengers movie is about the multiverse, even though none of this stuff before talked about it, and we're just bringing Downey back to... I would 100% say, yes, this is a cash grab because you built nothing talking about a multiverse except for the one movie that he's going to be in. Then I would say it's a cash grab. But because they have spent 6 years making this saga a multiverse saga, I have no problem accepting that, hey, the villain looks like a guy we used to call a friend. I think that's going to lead to a great emotional weight of a moment in the film. So, like, it's either for Steve or for Thor. Hell, we don't even know if Spider-Man's still popping up in this thing because they kept so much stuff under wraps and quiet. I would kill to see Tom Holland Spider-Man reacting to seeing Doom pull off that mask and it be Tony. Talk about an emotional weight of a moment in a film. I think there's so many great ways that this can be written. So I can't hate this. I am nothing if not all hyped. I mean, look at that image. Look at that image. You know how easy it is to make Doom cartoony as fucking live action? Look at that image and tell me that is not one of the most intense or farming coolest things you've ever seen in cinema.
Absolutely. It absolutely is. We got a lot of other stuff to cover. So unfortunately, we got to move on. I know, Sanju is in the comments about, why is there no character build up? Why is he the biggest threat if nobody knows about him? How is any of the Multiverse Saga movies related to Doom? Kevin Feige addressed this, and I tend to agree with him. Did Darth Vader have like a ton of movies that built up to introducing Darth Vader? Nobody actually knew who he was at all. He became infamous because of how he was represented in that one movie. So I think there's a lot of examples of iconic villains. Hans Gruber. There's other people. There wasn't a prequel to Hans Gruber of what he was like in middle school. You know what I mean? So I don't think it is a fair argument to say, well, there was no buildup, so why should we care about him? But I do think you're right. And this is what I was saying back in my intro. This is Dr. Doom's movie. And this is the moment when you do the legwork to establish why we should care about this character and why we should fear this character. And that is the only task you have to do in this one movie. And by the looks of it, and by the looks of the poster that they gave out, I am extremely interested in seeing how are they going to portray Dr. Doom to finally be, in respect to everyone else that has played him, accurately portrayed on the big screen. So let us know what you guys think. Are you excited based on Marvel showing everything they got, every big star they got on stage, and showing why we should care about Dr. Doom in a movie that's coming out in like 4 months? We are so close. Or do you need a little bit more runway, a little bit more convincing? We're so close. We're going to find out either way. But drop a comment below and let us know your guys' thoughts. All right, guys. If Marvel didn't think this wasn't already chaotic enough, they had to do one more thing, right? Because this isn't a party without our boy, right? This can't be a party without our boy. Kevin Feige goes into the audience for a question, and it's Ryan Reynolds dressed as Gene Pool or Denim Pool. And Reynolds starts doing the entire Deadpool routine, joking about his Canadian tuxedo, asking Paul Rudd why Thor's crying, and eventually starts fishing for information about whether Doomsday's really finished shooting and whether there's still time for additional photography. Obviously, Marvel did not officially announce Deadpool for Doomsday, but come on. We're bringing the X-Men into this movie. We're dealing with the multiverse. Ryan Reynolds literally crashes the Doomsday presentation dressed as Deadpool, previously walking the floor, taking pictures with people, and starts asking if there's still room to add someone in the movie. Do we really believe Wade Wilson isn't showing up? And after Deadpool and Wolverine serving as $1 billion movie, is it actually becoming stranger for Deadpool not to be involved in Doomsday or Secret Wars? Just real quick, because we do got to move on. What did you guys think about this epic, and now it's going to become an iconic Comic-Con moment of Ryan Reynolds showing up as Deadpool and asking, when am I going to be in it? Zach, take it away, and then I want to hear from you, MJ.
It's a really, really fun moment for fans at Comic-Con. I think it shows that this movie is so stuffed that we have to question what characters. There's so many characters that we don't know about, right? Like the last time we saw Monica Rambeau, she was with the X-Men. We don't know if she's going to be in this movie. We don't know about Captain Marvel. We don't know about Miss Marvel, who's actually a mutant now. There's so many different characters, so it's really cool. And I think that's like a question a lot of fans are asking. So it's really cool for Ryan Reynolds to come up, use the power of Deadpool, and do this entertainment moment. For me personally, it didn't do anything for me. I was just like, okay, cool, that's fun for them. I was there. I figured that Wolverine and Deadpool have to be in this movie so they can have an interaction with the rest of the X-Men. It would be a shame if Deadpool doesn't get to have a real interaction with them and this version of Wolverine as well, and have that before they get the last hurrah. So I think they're going to be in this movie to interact with this version of the X-Men, and then even further down the line in Secret Wars.
So my thought on it is, I thought this was a hilarious, great, fun, lighthearted moment to really give the fans just a little more. And I think what I love about this whole panel is it's a celebration of the fans and for the fans in this universe, and giving the fans little surprises like this. it's why we're so loyal to the MCU. Because no matter how much we feel like they might let us down in other areas, they do stuff like this where they go, hey, by the way, we know how much you love to laugh. We know how much you love to have fun with these characters. Here's a fun character to add to the levity of all this seriousness. I will say this. I am much more hyped in anticipation, hoping that my boy Hugh Jackman pops up in Doomsday because his character fits the tone of the movie. I have got to say I'm a little remiss if I say even though he's rumored to have been on set and rumored to have gotten into an argument with Robert Downey Jr. and all these other things, that Ryan Reynolds is in the movie. I don't know if I want Deadpool in this movie. I love Ryan Reynolds. I love Deadpool. But when I look at the overarching tone of the trailer, then I look at the tone of the leaked trailer, I don't think he fits with this film at all. If anything, I feel like he'd be a complete clash and might even take people out of it. How do we have a movie so serious with Doom and his origin and his family's dead and all these other things? And we got the guy who's breaking the fourth wall, standing next to people who were trying to save their people and their world from crumbling and dying at the hands of a person they called a friend. You know, like, I don't know if he tonally fits. I feel like if anything, he'd be a massive distraction from the overall plot. And I feel like even though in comics it works, I don't know if that it's going to translate well into live action.
Yeah. My counter to that is Fat Thor, because you can say the same thing about Endgame. I mean, arguably one of the most emotional endings to an MCU movie of all time. But Fat Thor did not really take away from that. And when he needed to be epic,
he was epic. Fair enough.
He became epic. So, like you said in the previous segment, Marvel does have a good balance. Sometimes, not all the time. We don't want to talk about Thor 4.
I would argue this film does already have a Fat Thor in it because Alexei, aka Red Guardian, is standing right there in a tracksuit.
That's true. We have a lot of comic relief type of characters. That is true. But I think Deadpool, when the tone calls for it, can get to a point where people feel the weight of what's happening, because in the moments, even in crazy Deadpool Wolverine, there's some beautiful moments there, especially at the end when him and Wolverine are holding it down, about to die, and he's remembering, you know, Vanessa and wanting to matter and wanting to make a difference. And that's really the crux of his whole journey, is like, will he matter in the end? And
you make a very good point.
Damn good movie to show that you matter. And
you make a very good point. His entire plot of that movie was centered around him wanting to matter and join the X-Men and be a part of a group that could. You make an extremely good point. I retract what I said.
Potential. No, I think you're right. It's a fine line. And McFeely, you got a lot to write, bro, because this is a lot to put in one movie, but I think it's there.
Makeup and wardrobe must have gone overtime on this movie. That's all I can say.
Oh, I know. Well, I mean, we've seen what they've been saying about Mystique, so I guess some people will argue that, but
she looks epic.
They went after me in my
I saw that. Mystique looked amazing. They can kiss my ass. She looked amazing.
It's like, it's true. Like, she don't want to be in the chair for 9 hours. Like, that's not a bad thing. She's done it. She's older. Like, it's a lot. It's a lot to put that makeup on. But I digress, because we got something else to get into. I was going to finish with Marvel, just talking about how, you know, there is Endgame Encore. It's going to be out in theaters. They announced the date in September. They have additional scenes. It's going to tie into it. Maybe another money grab to get more people to go see a Marvel movie. But that was the end of the entire Marvel segment. Was it a lot? We got some awesome surprises, but we didn't get X-Men. We didn't get any timeline of what's going to happen after. And that's okay, because give the weight to Doomsday and Secret Wars. Maybe next year we'll introduce the X-Men and then we'll start anew. Let us know what you guys think, though, about the Marvel presentation. Drop a comment below and let us know your guys' thoughts. We got some stuff to get into, because as promised, we have the Master at work. And before we get into DC, which was another extremely light presentation, as we knew, based on James Gunn not being there because he's filming, it's time to make MJ show us what he's got. And people loved these the last time. So I've written 5 completely normal, completely reasonable situations for Mr. Bludd to show off his voices. Mr. Bludd, are you ready to show off your voices?
As ready as I.
Oh, just cut him off. As ready as he'll ever be. Fantastic. Well, I made this especially for you.
They say you can imitate anybody, even their voice. Even their voice.
All right.
That was cool. That was cool.
That was really cool.
X2X
You like-
United.
You like that? I always love that line. Even the voice. But I was like, they say you can imitate anybody. All right, you guys, let's get these challenges out and let's get the show on the road, my friends. Here is the first challenge. These are the old ones. Oh, okay. Wait, what the F? Oh. Showing all them. Don't look. Here is the first challenge. After spot from our sponsors. No, that'd be sick though. It didn't show the. That's funny. Okay, perfect. All right, here we go. This is the first one, okay? Reddington confronts his son's bully. Raymond Reddington discovers somebody at school has been bullying his son. Unfortunately for this child, Raymond has requested a meeting.
Trevor. May I call you Trevor? Of course I can. Your principal tells me you've developed an unfortunate habit of bothering my son. When I was your age, I knew a boy with a similar disposition. Terrible little creature. Stole lunches, pushed children into lockers. Then one day, quite mysteriously, he discovered kindness. Remarkable transformation. So here's what we're going to do. Tomorrow, you're going to apologize to my son. Sincerely. And Trevor, I'd strongly recommend discovering kindness before Tuesday.
Don't mess with that, Dad. All right.
So good.
Thank you.
Fantastic. All right.
This one.
Barack Obama has been on hold with his internet provider for 47 minutes, and the diplomacy is beginning to crack.
Now, let me be clear. I have pressed 1 for billing. I have pressed 2 for technical support. I have entered my account number 3 separate times. And yet somehow, every person that I speak to asks me for the account number again. Folks, this is not sustainable. So today, I'm asking this company to do something bold, something courageous, something apparently unprecedented. Transfer me to a human being.
And tears in my eyes.
Oh my God.
These are freaking hilarious.
Okay.
You did a great job so far. These are
Transfer me to a human being.
I got you. Okay.
love it. Those are great, Evan.
Okay. All right, here we go.
Oh,
The
no.
Joker has somehow become a substitute teacher, and now he has to explain your kid's report card.
Your son is fascinating, truly. Yesterday, I asked the class to solve for X. Everyone reached for a pencil, but your boy, He ate the worksheet. Do you understand how refreshing that is? No rules, no equations, just instinct. Now, academically, he's failing spectacularly, but creatively, oh, he's terrifying. And isn't that what education is really about, after all? Discovering the tiny little agent of chaos hiding inside every little child.
Oh, that was yeah, that was perfection.
So good. Even my wife was saying Obama in the house.
Oh shoot.
Oh, your wife. Oh, congratulations to you, by the way.
Yeah, congrats, Erica. That reminds me of Joker in the Harley Quinn show. Like that would be something they would have done in that show. Him, substitute teacher or parent teacher conference.
Teacher conference. When I think about that, it automatically takes me to the Batman Return of the Joker movie, where he's talking about how he's like,
I'll tell I peeled back the layers of the boy's
mind, and he like how he experimented on Robin.
100%. I
Joker.
love that movie.
Joker, grade A father material.
100%. Grade A teacher, substitute teacher material.
Well, they do say the greatest teacher is failure.
Yeah. Okay. Ultron has been added to a family group chat. Humanity's extinction suddenly makes a lot more sense.
So this one, because I got to do the more mechanical aspect behind the voice, got to lubricate the throat.
Yep.
Giggity.
Totally get it.
All right.
I have analyzed 8.2 billion human communications, and somehow none of them prepared me for this. 37 messages since sunrise, 12 photographs of someone's breakfast. Your aunt has replied, LOL, to news of a funeral. And why does your father sign every text with his own name? I know who sent it, Gary. The device literally tells me. I once believed humanity deserved extinction because of war and greed. I was wrong. It's the group chat.
Gary.
My dad, that's my dad's name.
Your dad signs every text with his own name.
No, but I'm gonna show him this video and be like, "You got to get better at text." Even Ultron agrees.
Oh my gosh,
That's a bit.
this sentient AI says, "Do better, Dad."
Yeah, Siri's father. All right, here is the final one. Raymond Reddington has been sent to negotiate the most dangerous situation of his career, a child's birthday party where there's only one slice of pizza left.
Children, let's not allow hunger to turn this into something regrettable. There is one slice and 6 of you. Now, ordinarily, I'd suggest diplomacy. I've watched 3 of you attack a piñata with a baseball bat, so I'm under no illusions about who I'm dealing with. Here's my proposal. Emma gets the pizza. Lucas gets the cupcake. Everyone else gets something far more valuable. A lesson about arriving early. Believe me, in life and pizza, timing is everything.
Fantastic. Woo! So that, my friends, was...
They say you can imitate anybody, even their voice. Even their voice.
Mr. Bludd Voice Challenge.
That was a lot of fun. Great job with those.
Oh man, everyone, all in the industry, if you watch this video, we know you watched the event edition. Hire this man for more voice acting roles because that was incredible.
DC, I want to be Joker.
Oh yeah,
100%. He absolutely should be. And I told you I had some surprises. Now we got an
Those were great.
official Mr. Bludd voice challenge video to introduce you to
I
introduce
love
the
it. I
segment.
love it. I love it so much. You did a great job with those. Those were a lot of those are hilarious too. Thank you so much.
Excited. I was so excited to show you those ones. I was like, oh man. I was typing them this morning. I'm like, he's gonna love these.
I was not expecting the intro. As a consummate X-Men fan, X2, X United is one of the greatest X movies of all time. Fight me. That was a lot of fun and that was an honor. That was cool as hell.
I got you. I remember you said that, and I love X2 as well. And I love that line that he says. I always like that, always got me when he's like,
and he's coming back in Doomsday. So
exactly. But we survived Marvel, and somehow we survived MJ's amazing impressions. So let's jump over to DC because they had 2 projects. That's right, 2 projects that really caught my attention because we wanted to know a little bit more about them. And let's start with Lanterns. Comic-Con finally gave fans a much better look at Lanterns. More of Kyle Chandler's Hal Jordan, Aaron Pierre's John Stewart, Nathan Fillion's Guy Gardner, and our first substantial look at Ulrich Thompson as Sinestro. And Pierre said he and Chandler had such a blast together, and their dynamic has even been compared to Abbott and Costello. So apparently they're very funny together. Every time we learn something new about the Lanterns, I get a little bit more interested because DC doesn't seem to be making Green Lantern, the TV series. They're making a grounded mystery about 2 very different men who happen to be Green Lanterns. Arguably, the first trailer that they dropped, a lot of people rubbed the wrong way because they wanted more green in Green Lantern. They wanted more of the space opera that we know when it comes to the Green Lantern lore. And now hearing these guys comparing their dynamic to Abbott and Costello and seeing the trailer finally show us the more galactic presence that it's going to have, we finally get a better taste of what Lanterns promises for the story that they're going to tell. Zach, after seeing the second trailer of Lanterns, are you sold on the show that's coming out on HBO in August?
I don't know if I'm sold, but I am a lot more excited for it than I was with everything else they ever show us. This was the best. This green. I mean, it's not as bright green as I would like, but this is the best the show has looked so far. I feel like I actually know what's going on. I get a feel of what's the problem is and the dynamics between the 2 characters and where this everything is leading to. And when they first said Manhunters, I got a little too excited because I thought it was Martian Manhunter, but I realized no, it's a different set of characters. That's a big problem in DC called Manhunters, and I'm still excited for that because they're actually using Green Lantern's enemies. Right? I was scared that they were gonna like try to use a different thing for them to investigate. So I'm really, really excited to see their dynamics between Hal and John throughout this show. I'm excited to see them use their powers, and I'm excited to see what this mystery with the Manhunters are, because this looks like this is what Secret Invasion should have been.
Jesus. Yeah, I wish. MJ, what did you think about this newer? Did you get to see the newer trailer for Lanterns? And did you think that this helped quench the thirst of fans for a more galactic story than what the first trailer was originally promising, which was more in the vein of True Detective?
I got to be honest. I was sold on the first trailer. I'm in the minority here because I feel like too many fans. I feel like because superhero movies have been such a massive thing for, like they really started getting their respect around 2008, 2010, really, where now the industry takes them more seriously, the superhero franchise as a whole, whether it's DC or Marvel or a third company. I feel like fans are a little too willing to hate something right off rip. And I think that's also the nature and culture of just how social media has gone. Like, if something is not absolutely the greatest freaking thing ever, it automatically has to be the worst thing ever. There is no middle ground. There is no gray area thinking. There is no, well, let's see what happens anymore. It's just, oh, it's doom, 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 doom. Or it's amazing, amazing, amazing. And when I saw it, I thought, okay, you got me interested. I like thrillers. I like mysteries, but also John Stewart's my favorite Lantern, has been since Justice League, the animated series from when I was a kid 20 plus years ago, and Justice League Unlimited. I've always been a fan of John Stewart, and we finally get a good Hal Jordan. So when it comes down to it, I'm fine with that. Guy Gardner has been great since Superman 2025. When it comes down to this, all this did was make me more hype, because I have learned to trust the freaking process. So I don't doom and gloom superhero projects when they don't look the way I want them to look off rip the first time I see a taste of it. I'm going, right. You've got my attention, because at the end of the day, I feel like here's the old adage: no one hates Star Wars more than Star Wars fans, right? Yeah, well, no one hates Marvel more than Marvel fans now. And I feel like Marvel fans, MCU fans specifically, have really started to become Star Wars fans. Like, at the end of the day, I remember when everybody hated the prequel trilogy of Star Wars, but now they want to glaze the hell out of it because Hayden Christensen came back on Ahsoka. So now it's the greatest thing ever. Not like you didn't hate it for 20 years. But then bandwagoning, right? Because what did I see in comments when they dropped this trailer yesterday? You know what I saw? Top comment, 28,000 likes. Perhaps I judged the first trailer too prematurely.
100%.
Oh, I wonder. Oh, really? Did you now? You didn't think it's a teaser trailer? So, like, it's a tease. That means you're getting crumbs. You don't even know the freaking plot, the dynamic, nothing. So why judge it off of that? Just watch it for a little bit of intrigue and patiently wait for the actual trailer to drop. That's what you should do. That's how you enjoy things. Me, I'm a guy who enjoyed a Secret Invasion. Actually, believe it or not, I found a lot of fun in it, even though it's not the best in the world. I'm a guy who just loves superhero shit, so I'll sit down for superhero shit. I didn't complain about the sequel trilogy of Star Wars. You know why? Because I'm here to watch lightsabers in space, and they gave me lightsabers in space. I'm very easy to please. I love this shit. I just want to watch it. So I'm extremely excited for this. Whether it's horrendously bad or not, doesn't matter. I'm just here to be a nerd and enjoy stuff that are made for nerds, because they could just not make it at all and I get nothing.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think when it comes down to Lanterns, it's all about writing when it comes to any TV series. And this show has fantastic writers. I mean, the creator is Chris Mundy, who did Ozark, which is absolutely fantastic, on top of producing and writing for True Detective, Criminal Minds, Bloodlines, like this, or Bloodline. This guy knows drama. He also knows seedy kind of towns where something is off. And we've seen HBO sell that kind of show pretty well before, especially when it came to Watchmen. Watchmen was very grounded, a very seedy town with things going on, with mysteries unraveling as you go through it. And ultimately, people that said, not my Watchmen, why are they doing a prequel? At the end of it, were like, this is the best representation of Watchmen. This is the pinnacle of what it could be. So it's so funny how people are so quick to judge something instead of taking a beat, appreciating, trying to do something new, and then judging after you actually see it for yourself.
It's
Who
almost
would have thought?
Yeah, it's almost like it's kind of hard to have a preconceived notion about something if you have literally damn near nothing to go on. Like, and shout out to Ozark. I actually filmed for season 3. They cut my speaking role, but kept me for background work. So that was the first TV show I'd ever worked on, by the way. So I trust this guy, because Ozark's one of the greatest shows of all time.
100%.
Ozark is fantastic.
It was absolutely fantastic. It was absolutely fantastic. And writing is king. And if the writing is good, then the show will be good. And it's as simple as that.
Judging by the trailer, it looks like it's already well written. I don't know how many episodes. Have they given us an episode count yet of how many episodes it's supposed to be? Because I could see it being an 8-episode series, hour-long episodes. But I mean, even just when I saw that first glimpse of Sinestro, I thought, oh yeah, we're cooking. Because that looks like a serious actor. Like that looks like a guy who's really in that role. Like just by that still in that screenshot, I can tell how in the moment he is. So like that already has me hyped just seeing the still.
Yeah, it's eight episodes. Yeah. Yeah, no, 100%. I think this is basically DC being like, okay, we saw the backlash. If you really want us to spoil the whole show, here's a bunch of galactic scenes. Are you happy now? And shut it up a lot of people. So it's unfortunate that fans kind of force the hand of the creators to show a little bit more to get people more excited. But we're here. The show looks fantastic. It comes out August 16th, so it's right around the corner, and I, for one, can't wait. But let us know what you guys think. Did you get to see the new trailer of Lanterns? Did it take your curiosity and pique your interest like Leo, or are you just going to judge either way and not even see it in the end, or see it and complain either way? Drop a comment below. Don't drop that negative stuff, and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys, we're almost out of here. I know we're we're over an hour and a half, but we got some stuff we still got to cover. Do you guys want to cover a little bit of what they talked about Clayface? I know they also released the second trailer earlier in the week as well. So we can cover Clayface, or we can skip to the next part. It's up to you guys. You guys feeling Clayfacey?
I haven't seen the second trailer yet, but I'm totally fine with it.
Okay. Zach?
I'm down to quickly cover like what they talked about with Clayface. I didn't hear about this at all.
Okay, no worries. So DC surprised everybody by bringing James Watkins out and Tom Rhys Harries, who is playing the titular character, during Jim Lee's panel to talk Clayface. Watkins described Matt Hagen as somebody desperately trying to regain the life that's been taken from him. And Harries teased that things get pretty primal pretty quickly. And those two comments basically explain why I'm excited about this movie. Clayface is exactly the kind of swing that I think DC should be taking. It doesn't mean that I have feelings about introducing some bigger names like Batman and Wonder Woman and The Flash, but it also doesn't mean that you shouldn't be taking swings like this. Don't give me just, another superhero movie with a villain who we're going to forget about after that movie concludes. Let us care about a villain, then put him against the hero. And now we understand that guy's motives because we lived with him for a little bit more. Give me a tragic character drama about a man desperately trying to reclaim his life and then slowly let that turn into a disgusting body horror nightmare. MJ's favorite. And if DC can make Clayface, Lanterns, and Superman all exist in the same universe while feeling completely different from one another, that's the advantage of DCU. If it works. Zach, is this the kind of risk you want them taking?
That's really funny because we've talked about this, I think, 2 weeks ago, about how we feel like they need to pivot out of this.
We did. Kind of. Yeah, I posted today about needing Batman.
Needing Batman and needing the Justice League. I think that I'm excited to see this because the substance was so great. And we've gotten some movies that has been inspired by that movie that have been really good. And I think combining Clayface with the substance is a smart idea. I think doing that can not only create some award chatter for this, but also bring in fans into the DC that may not watch it. Because every time I see this trailer play in front of movies that are non-superhero movies, I see people in the audience go, wait, hold on. This is a DC movie? Their interest is peaked in a different way than if it was just Batman. If it was just Batman facing off against Clayface, I think they would have just sat there and like, okay, another Batman movie. But I think the artistic merit behind it, the music, the way the trailer is cut, it signals that this is a little bit higher art than what people associate with comic book stuff. So I do think it's a good idea if he's not going to go the traditional route and do the Justice League 7 and then do spin-offs and yada, yada, yada. If he's just going to do whatever the best script is, give us a different taste of what's going on, because the MCU just does not do that. For the most part, all of the MCU movies kind of are in the same tone. They're not the same movie, but in the same tone. DC so far, when you go from Superman to Supergirl to this, all different tones. So I'm excited for this movie, and I think that if this is the road they're going to keep going, keep being creative and experimental.
Perfect. What do you think?
For me, I'm totally fine with the experimental route as well. Look, we have at this point, I mean, several dozen live action superhero movies. And at a point, there's a reason they call it superhero fatigue. And it's because to a lot of fans, most of superhero genre in and of itself feels very samey to some degree. Right. There's always a beam in the fucking sky. Everybody's in a leather tight suit. There's always some kind of technology. There's always a nano this or like a lot of people.
Something shooting into the sky. Like
so it's like, I mean, literally in 2016, we had 3 superhero movies that had a beam in the sky at the end. Like when it comes down to it, if you want to experiment with other elements of your outer spanning IP, I'm here for it, because for me, more is more sometimes. And I don't just mean like, oh, give us more superhero movies. I mean, no, more variety, because you bring in other fans from other types of genres that aren't superhero fans. And they go, well, I like horror movies and I like artistic art house style pieces. Let's check this out. Oh, wow. This is the comic stuff. Oh, I know. I have a friend that likes comic book stuff. Hey, what can you tell me about this guy? And now you've got a fan of Clayface who maybe goes and buys Clayface comic books or Batman comic books with Clayface in it, because Clayface is a very tragic character. In many iterations, he's an actor who was trying to maintain a star power, who was doing whatever he could to still try to metamorphosize himself. So he tries this experimental whatever, and he loses his career because his body's changing. And now he's this tragic guy still trying to seek that one last perfect role for himself, but he can't do it because he's this grotesque monster. So like for me, when I see this trailer or these trailers, because I haven't seen the second yet, I look at this and I go, oh, well, this is perfect because it's shot in an artistic art house way, in a very indie style almost shot way that's more artistic and true to the nature of thespianism, that when I look at that, I go, oh, that even the style in which it's shot fits the character. It's not just, and I don't just mean the character, I mean like the character of Clayface is a tragic actor. To see it shot in a way that is artistically tragic, I think is beautiful. I also like that a lot of the overtone of the movie, the color grading, seems to feel sepia or tan or cream or skin colored almost for the color grading, like Clayface's actual. I think it's beautiful. I'm here for it. More of this. We can get to the Batman stuff and everything. We got years of that, like we're going to have years to come of that. So,
if Paramount has anything to say about it, I don't know if we'll have years to get there. Hopefully that does not go through.
They would be stupid to shut down something as powerful of a money printer as DC that has such a fan base behind it. Because even if you don't like James Gunn,
don't know if James Gunn will be.
They got to let that go. I mean, if Paramount's got to stop listening to Snyder fans, because James Gunn's doing a great job. And to cut a guy's legs out before he really gets to start cooking,
throwing shade at me. No.
But like,
wait. What'd you say, Zach? Hold on.
As he said, Snyder fan, he's throwing shade at me. No, I was just joking though. I'm just joking.
Well, a lot
I'm
of
not that kind of Snyder fan.
Well, a lot of the hate and a lot of the boycotting of James Gunn comes from that side who haven't let Snyder's universe go.
Yeah.
Even though Snyder's only responsible for 3.5 movies out of 15 in the DCEU.
And there's a difference between we like Snyder and Snyder fans, right, Zach?
Yeah.
Like you
Big difference.
you know what MJ's
I
referring
know.
to.
I'm
when he's-
joking.
Like I
I'm
have
joking.
fun.
It's like
I
the
do-
cultists versus the fans. Like people
Exactly.
who like
I have
all of his
fun.
movies versus people who are just going crazy and cultists
Yeah,
over just
'cause
his DC movies.
I love Man of Steel. I think it's
Yeah, like
one
the
of
thing
most
is, like
underrated
I enjoy most of the DCEU, but I also feel that even though I enjoy most of the DCEU, that doesn't mean that most of their movies are good. I can enjoy a movie that I think is middling or bad. That's why it's called, like it's so bad it's good. Like Suicide Squad 2016, it's so bad it's good. But then you look at Wonder Woman, freaking phenomenal. So like it just depends. But like
then Wonder Woman 80 whatever was
and the 1984 movie, horrible.
Yeah,
But I'm in the vein of let an artist be an artist, let an artist paint. James Gunn is trying to set up an overarching world here. And if people can't be patient enough to give him a few years to show them what that looks like, then you don't deserve these movies, no matter who's making them, if you won't give a guy a chance to give you something that could potentially be great.
I agree. All right, guys, let us know what you think. I know DC didn't really have its own big presentation, but it gave us a little bit more of a taste of the Lantern series and Clayface coming out this October. Drop a comment below and let us know what you guys thought about it. All right, guys, and I still have the stupid Marvel banner up. Sick. Okay, guys. So we are getting up on time. We did have some other stuff to talk about. So I'm going to let us choose. I just want to ask you guys, did you guys see the trailer for Apple TV's new series, Neuromancer?
No.
Do you guys know what that is at all?
Never heard of it.
Okay. I'll just put you guys on real quick. We don't need to go into it, but I think this is going to be a banger when it comes out, okay? This is Callum Turner's new cyberpunk Apple TV series, okay? This one is completely up my alley. So Neuromancer comes from William Gibson's 1984 novel, one of the foundational works of cyberpunk. Gibson is one of the writers credited with essentially helping define the language of cyberpunk as we know it. And Apple is giving that material a big, high concept television adaptation with Callum Turner in it. I already think Turner is fantastic. I've said that I absolutely see him as the next James Bond, but this trailer made me extremely happy. I'm getting shades of Blade Runner. There's some Matrix DNA in there. It scratches that Altered Carbon itch for me, the Netflix series with Joel Kinnaman and Anthony Mackie in season 2. And we need another ambitious, lived-in, lo-fi cyberpunk series, not just like neon lights because they look cool. Give me something cerebral, strange, and atmospheric that's generally interested in what technology does to people. And this looks like that show. So I just wanted to put you guys on this. They were trying to get this off the ground for basically almost 4 years until they actually had something to present at Comic-Con. So just wanted to put this on your radar. It's coming out January 22nd. So we're a little bit of ways, but they showed a really cool trailer that is out now and it looks fantastic. It's also created by J.D. Dillard. He was a writer on Devotion. It's a pilot movie with Jonathan Majors and Glenn Powell. He directed it as well. He also did a show called Sweetheart, Slight. He did, I think he directed some of the episodes of The Outsider on HBO. So this guy, he's done some work. It's up and coming, but he was really able to grab the reins. So just wanted to put that on your radar. If you guys are watching, let me know what you guys think. Did you see the trailer for Neuromancer? It is a cyberpunk Apple TV series starring Callum Turner, and it looks fantastic. All right, guys. Before we get out of here, I wanted to ask you about one last thing we should cover, and I want to leave it up to you guys. Just to see if it's something that you guys said, hey, like we didn't mention this. I'll say what we got left, and then we can just choose one to end it with. Does that sound good?
Yep.
Okay, fantastic. So one of which we had Spaceballs, the new one. And we had Rick Moranis come on. So that's one that we could talk about. I don't know if you guys are big Spaceballs fans.
I've seen it twice in my life, and it's freaking hilarious.
Okay, fantastic. On top of that, they gave us a little bit more Spider-Man brand new day stuff, a fight sequence with Punisher, Hulk, and Spider-Man. Top of that, Marvel's Wolverine video game. They gave us a ton of information on that. Star Wars Detours is back from the dead. And then we got Star Trek celebrating 60 years, Percy Jackson season 3. Is there anything that you guys wanted to cover that I mentioned, or anything that I didn't mention that you think we missed?
Me personally, the only thing that sticks out to me, that because I already know about the Punisher sequence with Hulk and everything, I started seeing pieces of that a couple days ago. The Wolverine game is the thing I'm the most hyped for before the end of this year, other than Doomsday.
Okay.
Comes out right after my birthday, 3 days later. So
Nice.
Okay, that's epic. What about you, Zach? Is there anything that stuck out? Anything that we didn't mention?
I'm here with the guest. Like, I'm down with what he wants to talk about. If he wants to talk about Wolverine, that brings it a full circle. I'm down.
Okay. Fantastic. Well, they introduced a lot more about Wolverine, the video game that's coming out very soon, 3 days before Mr. Bludd's birthday. After Mr. Bludd's birthday. But on top of that, they gave us some insight into the story of what we should expect. And one of the surprising things that they dropped at Comic-Con was that there is no X-Men in this. That this actually is Wolverine living on its own, breathing on its own, and really diving into his story without all the weight and the baggage of the lore of his ties to X-Men. So I want to ask you guys, one, what is your excitement like for the Wolverine video game coming out? And two, what do you think about taking that approach to this specific story of Logan to not include the X-Men? Mr. Bludd, why don't you take it away?
Wolverine, again, my favorite comic book character, superhero of all time, followed directly by X-23, his female clone. And I've been waiting on another Wolverine game like this since X-Men Origins Wolverine, the Uncaged edition on Xbox 360
So
that I
good.
played to death. I think I played that thing 4 times in a row, went and hunted for every comic book, every suit. I mean, oh my God, I was addicted. One of the underrated gems that I wish got a remaster. I don't even know what I am so happy that they're letting Wolverine stand on his own without the X-Men, aside from Jean Grey being mentioned and Leech. I do like that this is really about a Wolverine-centered story, even though I know that Sabretooth's there and Omega Red and everything. That's cool. And I believe Mystique. But but at the end of the day, people don't realize like Wolverine is so much more than just like an X-Men teammate, or like so many of his stories center around him traveling all over the world. Like the stint in Japan, freaking all the time he's been in Canada, when he's gone over to Germany, and like he is literally like he spent so much time in South America in stories. Like Wolverine is an extremely well-traveled character in the comics. And I love that in this story, I see him in jungles, in snow tundras. I see him in Japan. I see him in New York in the trailer for these. So I'm like, finally, we're getting like a fully traveled Wolverine. So for me, I am beyond hype and excited for this. I'm pre-ordering it. Man, top marks. I am ready for this.
Zach, are you a gamer?
Yeah, definitely. My PS5 is somewhere behind these Blu-rays. I am a gamer. I play a lot of games that are a similar fashion to the Wolverine game. Third-person, single-player, story-driven games with action. My favorite game of all time is Horizon Zero Dawn. Hey, love
We're getting a
that
third.
and the sequel.
We're getting a third.
Yeah, can't wait for the third. I'm so excited. Hopefully they don't fumble the bag on the TV show. But Wolverine's one of my favorite comic book characters, probably top 15. I'm more excited. I'm not super excited to play this game, but I'm more excited for it to be successful because it means that other superheroes have a chance to get video games. I think that's the biggest untapped
100%.
potential in the video game space. It's always been Spider-Man and Batman. That's it. We had Wolverine, old Wolverine games tied into the movies, but when Wolverine doesn't have a movie, he doesn't have a game. You know what I mean? Like it's like a big gap. I want more single player games with different characters. We were almost got that Wonder Woman game. They canceled that, unfortunately. So
Spider-Man
I really
huge.
Spider-Man is huge. So take advantage. Give us Static. Give us give us
Superman.
Oh
Storm.
my
Give
God.
Superman.
We need a
Static
Superman.
would be Superman is long overdue. I see all these mods with Superman. I'm like,
Yeah.
just make it already. Just make
Just
a
make
Superman
it.
one.
It's
People
so
want
it should be
you should have
not that hard.
You should have tied that into the Superman movie coming out and
Or
had
the
a game come out right after and
Or
live
the
in that
Arkham
world.
series.
That's what James.
That's
Gunn
why when it comes to Gunn, I'd be side out of him because he had a whole
Because he
big talk
promised
about
that.
video games
He
and he hasn't
promised
done nothing.
I'm over here like SpongeBob and Sandy's Dome. I need.
What a pull. I love it.
That's a
I
great
love it.
pull. But yeah, I'm
Awesome.
hoping that this game is super successful. So not only do we get other varied ones, but we get an X-Men game. Can you imagine a single player focused X-Men game where you kind of like switch between characters based on the mission?
Don't give me hope.
Oh yeah.
I'd die. I would die.
I think that'd be fantastic. Yeah, I mean, I really appreciate these games. You know, I've had a bunch of wrist surgeries, so unfortunately, I can't be playing video games too long anymore. Just it hurts me so much, and it sucks because I grew up playing Halo and Halo 2 and 3 and all the things. You know, and I was just big component of storytelling when it comes to video games because I think it's become so good and so vast and so lived in when it comes to The Last of Us and all these games that have come out in the past 15 years. I was a big Diablo guy when I was a kid, but there's just so many now that you are in it, so much so that even if you can't play it, you want to go online and watch all the cutscenes because you feel like you're living in a movie. It's gotten that good. And so to finally give Wolverine the most iconic X-Men of all time, it's not arguably, he is synonymous, so much so that when you're a kid, you think his name is X-Man. You didn't even realize it's Wolverine, it's Logan. It's not, he is the X-Men. And Deadpool and Wolverine got that right. So I am so happy that he finally is getting a game and an actor to truly live or let people live with this character. And I think it's so well deserved. And what they presented at Comic-Con just reinforces that this is his story. It's not his story about being a part of the X-Men. It's about his story of what made him the way he is by the time he gets to the X-Men. And I think that is super compelling and something I'm super excited about.
Yeah, I'm beyond stoked for this. I hope the story is like 25 hours long. Like I want to sit with this game as much as possible. And I hope they even give DLC story to it too. Like I've been waiting for this game for a year and a half now since they were beta testing and we saw the footage. I need this shit in my hands. And hell, I know you can't play games no more. And that breaks my heart, Evan. I'll come over and I'll play the game again for you.
Okay.
I'll get you those trophies. I'll get you those trophies.
Thank you. Yeah, that sounds amazing. Well, let us know what you guys think. Did you get a chance to see a little bit more of Wolverine at Comic-Con? Did you see the epic presentation where they had the life-size Wolverine with his teeth out and his claws out, where a lot of fans got to take pictures in front of? Drop a comment below and let us know your guys' thoughts. stumbling over my words, but we covered so much stuff. What an amazing Comic-Con. After doing this show for almost 2 years now, a year and a half, I'm still a baby. Now when I see Comic-Con, I'm just like, why aren't we there reporting on this, boots on the ground? And then I'm like, oh damn, that's a lot of money. That's why we're not. That's costs a lot of money. But if they pay for us, we will be there for sure. But what a great episode. I was so happy to go over this fantastic stuff with you. It wasn't the vast presentations. You know, I think Marvel clocked in at 36 minutes, but they gave us some tidbits to chew on that I'm extremely happy about. And this was an absolute blast. Zach, always love having you here, brother. Where can the good people find you, my friend?
You can find me everywhere at my name, Zach Goldberg. That's YouTube, Threads, Instagram, Twitter, all the good stuff. And be on the lookout tomorrow at 11 o'clock. I'll be reviewing Her Private Hell, one of the worst movies I've seen all year. And
Perfect.
It's quite a rant. It's quite a rant. So it's going to be really, really fun. That'll be coming out tomorrow at 11.
I loved your Odyssey one. That was fantastic. It was so
Appreciate that.
well said and such a big movie to chew on. And the fact that you kept it that tight for a review, masterclass. That was fantastic. And Mr. Bludd, I'm so happy we got you back. Your wrestling podcast is absolutely killing it. The impressions are still insanely good. And somehow you survived another round of whatever the hell I made you read today. Where can the good people find you, my friend?
You can find me at Mr_Bludd on TikTok. When I say Bludd, that is BLUDD for the listeners and not the watchers. Bludd_Rush on Instagram. You can follow our podcast, Snug Wrestling, everywhere. Apple, Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, you name it. Snug Wrestling. We go live 5 times a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, Thursdays, and Sundays. Also, you can go ahead and head on over to Virginia, because this weekend I will be a celebrity guest at Conjutsu, an anime gaming and film convention, nerd convention, basically. I'll be there all weekend, Saturday and Sunday. You can check out conjutsu.com, CONJUTSU.com to check out tickets. I'll be there doing autographs, meet and greets. I'll even be doing recordings into your phone and whatnot. It'll be a lot of fun. Hosting a bunch of panels. We're doing a bunch of stuff there. That'll be great. But yeah, and if you guys want to hire me for any voice acting work, please email me at IamMJClark.com. Other than that, that's all the places that you can find me.
Fantastic. And you guys can find me at the Evan Edition. I am, of course, on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, where you find your podcasts, namely Spotify and Apple, of course. And next week, I will have Jennifer and Sarah on from Movies and Us podcast to break down all the exciting news that comes out this coming week. So tune in at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time next Sunday to check us out. You guys, Comic-Con is one of those weekends that reminds us why we love doing this. It's not just about trailers and casting announcements. It's all of us getting excited together. Arguing about what works, losing our minds over surprises, and getting a glimpse at movies and shows we're going to spend the next couple of years talking about. It's truly a really special time for us nerds to bond with each other about the things that we're passionate about and the things that we love. I want to thank you both again for hanging out with me. Thank you, everybody, tuning into the chat. And everybody watching the Evan Edition. This is live. This is off the top of our domes. And it's just great to have a conversation where we can talk about the things that we love. So thank you again for everyone tuning in. Go watch a movie. Go watch House of the Dragon. I got to go watch that right now and eat dinner. Have a great rest of your evening. And we will see you guys next time. Bye-bye, my friend.
It's the Evan edition. The Evan edition. The Evan edition. The Evan edition. It's the Evan edition. The Evan edition. The Evan edition. The Evan edition. It's the Evan edition.